Testing, testing. Are we live? Anyone hear me? I think we're live. There we go. Long time no see, everybody. I've been pretty busy of late, working on a few proposals and updating the Monad tracker or the Decentralization tracker, making a few different coding changes and various updates, and reading a lot about insurance and other kind of stuff, pitching to an investor and getting a kind of follow-up meeting. So that's been pretty interesting and exciting because just in case you weren't aware, the whole point of the Monad stake pool is to kind of bootstrap myself into being able to work on Cardano full time. And it's kind of getting there. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe we've gone through the past 5 epochs with so many blocks, and that's been super cool. 5 epochs, 5 blocks in one epoch was like more blocks than we had in our entire lifetime of the pool up until a few epochs ago. So super cool, and I would thank everyone for their support. So some of you might not be here to talk about Monad, so I'm going to jump into the content, which is a weekly review of the Cardano subreddit. Uh-oh, looks like I'm hanging upside down. I changed my camera. How do you say? There we go. Changed my camera setup so that it's like hanging from a boom now, but I have to manually flip it or vertically. And I've done it in the main screen, but not this one. So let's get into it, everybody. I'm going to drag the video over to the other side because that way it doesn't clash with the screen. We had a pretty eventful past couple weeks since I last streamed. I think the last time I did this was on the 8th, and there has been quite a few developments in the Cardano space. I almost thought about maybe doing this once a month. If you have an idea on the frequency of how often we should check out the Cardano subreddit, leave it as a comment down below or in the chat, because yeah, I don't know if weekly is too much, but it's kind of fun to talk to you guys, so let's do this. Cardano has been listed on Coinbase Pro, 5,500 upvotes. Siddharth, I was just checking, right? Like this this thing is basically taken over his profile. Siddhartha. So when was this? This was 5 days ago that it was first on Coinbase Pro, and then I think a day or two later it got listed on Coinbase. Wonder what your guys' feelings on this was. Like how now that it's here, like what? I think when Coinbase was probably the most often asked question in most of Charles' AMAs and most maybe inside the community question. I think probably outside of that, it was originally Shelley, and now probably when smart contracts went Goguen. But I kind of feel like there's a void in my chest now that I don't get to read when Coinbase or why not Coinbase or various permutations of that question. It's kind of surprising though, like everybody kind of thought like that when Coinbase happened, like we'd go to the moon or something like that. And there were a lot of people, and I kind of count myself among that, who kind of felt that Coinbase's era has ended. Like maybe, yeah, like 5 or 10 years ago, getting listed on Coinbase was like a big deal. But I don't know. I was kind of amazed when I came back to crypto last year in June, how dominant Binance was in terms of volume. Of course, you don't know how much of that is just bots and fake statistics, but Binance is huge. And then, yeah, so 2 days ago, Coinbase on regular Coinbase proper This is cool because up until now, my mom has been buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, sending it to me on Binance. I buy ADA for her and send it to a wallet that she manages. But now I don't have to do that anymore. So, yeah. right, Pajay. Sorry, I was scrolled up. I didn't see the chat. Moon landing has got nothing on Coinbase listing. This is a little bit weird. This Ask the Doctor guy, he's the managing director or some kind of high level guy in the FD7, the Middle Eastern country that sold 750 million Bitcoin and invested it in, I think, Cardano and Polkadot. Yeah. So what was weird about it is like every time he introduced himself, he's like, I'm the former like co-founder of Ask the Doctor. And then now Ask the Doctor has announced that they're switching from Ethereum to Cardano. So that's cool. I think that actually kind of similar to what my plan is to build something on Cardano and make Cardano take off, and not make Cardano, but help Cardano take off and hold Cardano, so that you're kind of taking it from both ends, or getting the benefit from both holding ADA and using it. What are the fees like on Coinbase versus other platforms? I know, just if we take a step back, the difference, as I understand it, between Coinbase and Coinbase Pro is that Coinbase is it's more like a broker. It's like the people who exchange money for you at the airport, and they take a pretty significant cut or a spread. Whereas Coinbase Pro is, as I understand it, an exchange. So you're not directly, but all the orders are some other, human or bot on the other side of you. Whereas Coinbase, they're happy to buy or sell, but they're gonna basically, exploit a spread so that they can make money. I thought this was pretty cool, and this probably was actually a heads up. I had a few people send me this actually as well. I don't know where I saw it first. Is that this? I think this came out slightly before Cardano was on the Bloomberg terminal, which is actually a huge thing for pro financial people or people who are in the financial industry. Bloomberg terminal, if you don't know, is like this 80s looking single purpose device. Comes with a funky keyboard, costs like $10,000 a month or something like that, maybe $15,000 a month for a subscription, and gets you like very low latency, real time kind of quotes and stuff. But before that, right, Bloomberg is also a news source, kind of like the Associated Press or Reuters, and I think it kind of makes sense that they did in their news wing a little piece on Cardano before they, or concurrently with them listing it on the terminal. I thought this was fun too. This why Cardano needs a new name discussion. Alec Cap, who's the paper billionaire? This guy up here, Charles Hoskinson. I think he actually, I don't know. I guess he's made more money on Cardano now, in theory, than he has from his Bitcoin and Ethereum holdings. Bloomberg terminal's only $2,000 per month. No way. Oh, this Chinese discussion. So as I understand it, what I was reading about this is, I'll just open this quickly. Cardano. That's probably not how you say it. And it's like it's a phonetic kind of translation, or not translation, phonetic reinterpretation of Cardano into Chinese, and I guess this is how it's written on the official sites, but it doesn't have like any kind of meaning, right? And so what they're saying is that, Bitcoin has a catchy name in Chinese, and Ethereum has a catchy name, and Polkadot has a catchy name too, instead of this like literal like what do you call it, syllable by syllable kind of translation. So they're saying Kadalu could be good. I think there's another post later on that says another kind of thing, but it's kind of like networked road or something like that. And I think it's important, right? It's kind of like a localization thing to have something that makes sense in a big market like China. So I thought this was fun. I don't know what the way I see it written in Japanese is just Karudano, which is just the literal katakana transliteration. But it's interesting we don't have a better name for it in Japanese. This was also, of course, even bigger than Coinbase. Alakai, stop making fun of me, you Hawaiian punk. Not all Asians are the same. But anyways, Charles Hoskinson got a blue check mark on Twitter. Between Coinbase and this, I don't even think we need to do anything anymore, right? He's got a blue verified check mark. We're on Coinbase. We can just pack it up and go home. Right, Padye? Oh my God. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm too whiny, and I am, to be clear, with how much like shit that goes on Twitter and everything. But I think I'm not the head of a giant company, and I think the way I conduct myself is a little bit different than the way someone who's trying to sign deals and close deals should conduct themselves. Got my dad into Cardano. That's a beautiful lassie dog. I used to have, I had Shetland sheep dogs, and what are the full-size ones? Collies? Border collies? Yeah, I had some of these growing up. They were beautiful dogs. And I got my mom into Cardano too. I'm going to count how many people have I introduced to Cardano. I've got my mom. I've got someone in stream maybe-ish. But I don't really think I can take credit for them because they kind of found it themselves too. I've got one coworker and another coworker. I think that's 4. Not including my immediate family members that are like in my nuclear family right now. But yeah, how many people have all of y'all gotten into Cardano? All the upcoming Cardano events this year, hold on to your beep, because the rocket ship hasn't even taken off yet. If you want to see real madness, stick around for Goguen. And Goguen, even though we're in Goguen now, right? As this kind of is alluding to, when people say Goguen, I think they really mean smart contract, or colloquially, we kind of mean smart contracts. So even though metadata, even though native tokens were part of Goguen, I think what everyone's waiting for is smart contracts. Yeah, so Padge's got to leave the country, saying in chat if Cardano fails. Yeah, I'm starting to worry. I mean, everyone's happy right now, and everyone's sending me like smiley emojis and oh yeah, and I'm like, we're still gonna be friends, right? If it goes back to 5 cents or it goes back to 10 cents, I don't think it'll go there, but yeah. So what else has gone down on this list? Coinbase has gone down. I think Celsius is in the works still. People are saying like, let's get on Gemini. Like, who cares? The Winklevoss twins. Like, I don't like if now that we have Coinbase. Like, maybe you could argue PayPal might actually bring a significant bump in the price because of all the access to retail investors. I think PayPal's kind of the new Coinbase because it's just like on ramp for uninitiated people who aren't into the crypto space at all. It would be nice to see some deal down here with a country closed. I know that's been kind of dangled a few times. Yeah, so Padje brings up a good point. The more exchanges, the better. part of the reason Binance probably has like 75 pools right now is because there wasn't another place to buy and sell ADA at the same scale of Binance. So it'll be interesting to watch how many pools or the saturation level of the Binance pools over the next couple epochs. Epochs? Do you say epochs or epochs? Important questions. Wolfram Alpha, this is super cool. This is actually important for the thing that I'm kind of working on with the insurance proposal. Other projects, we saw the doctor thing by DF7 up above. I saw a few updates by Ben Goetzel, how do you say his name? About the AGI Singularity Net and their migration over to Cardano. Anything else on here? Artano. Is Artano in here? I say Babel. The Tower of Babel. And my wife makes fun of me. She says it's Babel. You goddamn American. Babel. But yeah. I say Babel. What else is here? Cardano Kids, Artano. I have a cool idea for an NFT I want to do. I want to start to make, and actually, I tweeted out about it earlier this week. I had this cool meeting with the Fuck You Pay Me guys, which is, which is the new stake pool, and they operate out of Tokyo and Singapore. But cool couple of dudes. And we had a pretty interesting chat. And what I think we're going to have a stream maybe later this week on Thursday where we just kind of live chat and discuss about NFTs and some of their ideas. But my big thing about NFTs is that right now NFTs are kind of stupid because like just having a link to a JPEG someplace is not really interesting. And if you've ever studied any kind of art history or anything like that, the content of a piece of art is like inherently tied up and bound to the medium which it is expressed in, right? There's things that you do in watercolor that you don't do in oil because of the nature of the medium being like the style it's produced in. And so what I want to do with NFTs is start to make some procedurally generated pieces of art, which right now my simple idea is to mint a new native token of 1, and then send it someplace and attach some metadata to it, and that metadata will have just like a key value, which might be some code, like some Python code or something, which that if you run it will produce some visual effect on your screen. The issue is that you don't it's kind of, Padgett saying, is it crypto kitties? It's I don't know. Yeah, in a way that's crypto kitties, but what I mean is more just, I don't know. I guess it does. Yeah, good point. It's crypto kitties, but a little bit more interesting than less interesting than crypto kitties. More like genuine style of art that is meant to be kind of like in the style or the ethos of like the Beeple guy, like serious capital A art that kind of wonders or interrogates what it is to be a painting or what it is to be an NFT, and considers that and considers the relationship between the viewer and the owner and all this kind of stuff, that it like is kind of art theory kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about NFTs. Cardano ecosystem by Charles. This is looking weird, so I'm going to open the image. What we got? Anyone see anything interesting here that they want to talk about? There's enterprise and businesses, developer tools, infrastructure, education, research, core organizations. Coinbase is on there. Anyone know about these other fundings? I know Catalyst. I don't know what this C Fund, D Lab, and Y2X is. And there was some other things on here that I wasn't sure about. Yeah, this is like, I mean, anytime you have a slide with a bunch of other people's logos on it, it's usually like, what do you call it? Like, these are our clients, and these are the past people we've worked with. Boom, like, and it's like, yeah, okay, you had like a call with like 10 of these people, and then you actually did something, you know, you actually visited like another 20, and then you actually did work with another bunch of them. So a little bit of, I don't think that's this image. I mean, most of these things are actually kind of there, but yeah. The Flare blockchain has started a poll to get users' opinions whether they should integrate ADA. It's true, Alakai. Monad is not on there. We will rectify that. I heard there's going to be some Hawaiian gods on there eventually. Yeah, exactly, Padje, right? Like, it's just, but I mean, most of these stuff, like, okay, let's go through it. These startups, pet registry, yeah, the pet registry, Catalyst, Gimbal Labs. Is Gimbal Labs a startup? I thought they were like just like a work thing. I don't know what these other ones are. I've never heard of them. Partners, yeah, Singularity. I see. Vacuum Labs. Yeah, let's not. That's boring. Comparison of energy usage among the biggest players. This, I think, is worth having a little chat about. I don't know if this is true. How can it? Bitcoin isn't that expensive, or in terms of energy usage. They're saying 3 transactions, securely validated transactions, cost the entire energy usage of a household's annual usage. Is that correct? I mean, I guess you could calculate like what is the hash rate of the entire Bitcoin network, and what's the time between blocks, and then, you know, figure how long you have to turn on, or for how long you have to run your the entire network to make the number of transactions that fit in a block, and then say, you know, prorate that against the, actually you'd have to take into account energy efficiency of ASICs versus GPUs. I don't think anyone minds on GPUs anymore. And then figure out, okay, we use this much power. I guess this is how this is done. But Ethereum is 72 and Cardano is 8,120. I saw something that I was about to tweet out, but I really liked it. Charles was kind of advocating for running stake pools on minimal hardware like Raspberry Pis and this kind of stuff. Because I just think it's such a crock to like advertise your like super speedy many core system to run a Cardano stake pool on. Like, you're going after low information voters or people who don't understand like what is the value proposition of Cardano, or you're bringing in this like old mining mindset to Cardano. Like, Cardano is not about beefy hardware. It's about building nodes and deploying them all over the world with minimal hardware necessary. And that's part of the elegance of Cardano, is that you can have a worldwide network with tons and tons of people participating without having crazy hardware. And yeah, it's just it's silly to me when people advertise their. I believe in bare metal setups, I will say that, but I don't believe in advertising like the beefiness of your system as like a selling point, because you're kind of doing it wrong. This is funny. Coinbase support has resolved and closed the case. Somebody was asking for listing, and it happened. Oh my god, I hate these coins so much. I'm so sorry, but I think it's like Neanderthal level thinking, just like medieval, to get a piece of like what, tin or something stamped with a cryptocurrency logo on it and get it plated in gold or gold like thing. Yeah, I don't really care. I think it's so stupid. If Charles or whoever does this, like, why? Like, this is like humans holding on to legacy attachments to different things. I don't think these are those coins actually, Padjay, because I think Haig is a pretty new stake pool operator. They've registered 9 days ago. I've seen them around in a few places, and I mean, yeah, I mean, whatever you like, but people spend like 25 to $50 on these silly little coins. Like, just go buy more ADA. I don't understand the point. If you want to like print out a little commemorative plaque or something and put it on your wall, okay. But I guess that the thing that bothers me about it is that, is that these coins are inherently bound up in the idea of like currency, and the fact that these are just like chunks of metal with a stamp on it, and they don't have anything to do with the actual thing that they represent or they're pointing to representing, just kind of gives me weird feelings. People, every time this comes up, like, yeah, if there was a private key embedded in it, maybe that'd be cool. But yeah, I think it's just like humans and their inability to move on from the past paradigms. Cardano ADA is launching on CB Pro. We did that. Coinio. What is Coinio? Has anyone ever used Coinio? I don't know what Coinio is, so I give up. 100 companies looking to migrate from Ethereum to Cardano. Cool. I wonder if Chuck E. Cheese is going to be one of the companies. If you can pay for your little rides using, that'd be an expensive Chuck E. Cheese. Damn, if you had to pay like $1 for every little stupid thing you did at Chuck E. Cheese. What are these companies? I think this is a little bit. I'm sure there are, but it's kind of silly to talk about it until it's done. This is whatever it is. IOHK missed a D parameter update due to some operational reasons, they're saying, and so they're going to do next epoch. They're going to change the D parameter by 0.04 or 4% instead of 0.02, and then the next update after that will be the last one. Yuvaraj, does anyone have any opinions on his question in chat? We don't usually focus too much on price in this channel, but a price of $10 would be, I think it's $22 or $23 would be the market cap of Bitcoin. So half of that would be like $500 billion, I guess, right now. So probably pretty unlikely that I think Cardano reaches $10 by the end of this year. Charles Hoskinson, March Cardano 360 episode will be action packed. I don't know. I think this month has been pretty action packed already. What do you guys think? I think there's been a pretty, what is it? The tick mark and the Coinbase listing, but also the march on of D. I feel like this month has been pretty significant, and I guess maybe there might be something about Alonzo at this end of month, maybe more demos there, something like that. Cardano to Coinbase, new people. Has anyone noticed a lot of new people? I did notice that there were like 280,000. How many people in the subreddit? 283,000 people in the subreddit now. And my favorite thing is that we haven't seen a single post about how many people there are on the subreddit this time. So I think it might be safe to come back to doing weekly perusals of our Cardano. Reading comments. Yeah, I think a lot of people expected $2 with Coinbase. We don't really talk about price so much here, but I think Coinbase was kind of a flat, a weird thing. As much as people had it hyped up, and I assume that people were asking when Coinbase all the time because they thought that when it hit Coinbase, the price would go through the roof, and it kind of didn't really. I mean, it bumped up, but it didn't break its previous all-time high or anything like that, right? So, was there any real point for everyone to be freaking out about when Coinbase for the past couple years? I don't know. Maybe keep that in mind. This is an example screenshot of the Bloomberg terminal. Alakai was saying it's $2,000 a month for Bloomberg. I could have swore I had a family member that was paying like $10K. Maybe he just doesn't know how to negotiate. But yeah, you can now find Cardano related stuff on Bloomberg. When I saw this image, I immediately thought of the Portlandia skit, put a bird on it. It's a good skit. It's a good show. If you haven't seen it, go check out Portlandia. Oh, so yeah, if you're running a VC or a hedge fund, you probably have multiple terminals and you get a lower price per terminal, right? But I think if you just had a single seat a couple years ago, it was around $10,000 a month. We're just getting started. That moment when you realize that birds are still in there. Look, there's a Charles Hoskinson tweet without a blue check mark. That is probably worth a lot of money now. If you were to buy the NFTs for Charles's old tweets, pre-blue check mark, versus, it's kind of like a penny, like when you have it like a misstamped thing. These are going to be classic tweets in the next couple of years. Coinbase is on Cardano. I think there's been like 10 Coinbase on Cardano posts. My thoughts on having realistic expectations. This is actually maybe good for Yuvaraj Morla. Morla, you're asking a pretty good question. I think that if COVID goes up, or generally speaking, I think that I am bullish on crypto when shit starts to get crazy. And by shit starts to get crazy, that can either mean financial collapse or pandemics or crazy stuff like large terrorist events, or I think uncertainty. As people start to lose more and more faith in existing financial structures, I think that they will look to a safe haven, and I think crypto in general is that place that I think a lot of people will be flocking into. I was reading this interesting Deutsche Bank report. I think it was on the subreddit too, that like 30% of millennials believe that cryptocurrency is replacing banks and gold or something like that. Debit cards, that crypto will replace that, and 30% is pretty goddamn high. Like that's close to tipping point. If that number is right, like you don't need a lot more than that for things to start to seriously change. Means more stimulus, yes. This is probably the best post. Look at this beautiful. I wonder if there's a pattern to it. I'm seeing red or green, red, purple, light blue, yellow, pink, orange. Is there green, red, purple, blue? I was hoping the letters would be the same order, clockwise or counterclockwise, but it doesn't look like it's there. A little bit. Oh, but wait. I think I see. There's a triangular red, and then there's a triangular yellow, right? 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. And a triangular green. So this kid, okay, I respect this kid. Look, check it out, everybody. Big dot gets 2 small dots at like, 120-degree rotation. It's not random. The green one has it. The blue one has this kid is awesome. Okay, see the big yellow dot, you go across from it, and then on either side there's 2 yellow ones. Purple, boom boom. Orange, boom boom. Blue, boom boom. Red, boom boom. That is autistic pattern finding behavior for you. I like this kid. I like the kid. Next post. Did you guys see the pattern? Yes, it is. BlockFi CEO states that they'll add Cardano ASAP. I've seen a few thumbnails of this Meet Kevin guy, and I've heard of him when I was watching a few other YouTubers that I like. I think I watched like half of a video or 30 seconds of a video of his when he was like driving around in a Tesla or something. But he seems like it seemed like from what I gathered, he's just like a financial YouTuber. He's not a crypto YouTuber. And I think he made a lot of money like on Tesla stock or something like that. And so to get a bit meta, to me, this is a little bit interesting that this normal YouTuber is asking a crypto, he's, talking about crypto, and he's asking about when are you going to have Cardano, right? Like that's a little bit interesting that like we're going so mainstream that like, yeah, financial YouTubers are a bit of a niche, but the more I guess involved than your normal person. But the fact that this, if what I'm thinking is correct, that this guy is not really historically big into crypto or anything like that, that he's now not just into crypto but asking about Cardano, that is quite interesting to me. Did anyone watch Charles's Blockchain Africa keynote speech? I know that Padgett was talking about the Africa conference that hasn't happened yet, that it got pushed back. It was supposed to be in February, and we're now in almost in April. But I watched the first little bit of this, but I did not continue so much because it was, I don't know. I wish you would have like gone to a different room and like stood up. Like it's so boring watching like normal Zoom conference calls as like a keynote speaker kind of thing. I don't know if he had like a cool TED Talk type presentation. Did he? Was it better? I'm gonna scrub through this quickly. No, right? It's just him talking in his room for 16 minutes. So I don't have the attention span for that right now. Don't wait for ADA to come to Coinbase, which is Coinbase Pro. You had to wait 2 or 3 days, but yeah, nobody knew that at the time. I also didn't expect it to go onto Coinbase that soon. We talked about this, the health platform with the utility token. What is Padgett saying? How is ADA distributed around the countries percent-wise? What do you think? Which country owns the most? Which second most? It occurred to me that Germany is probably in the top 3, and there are many Germany pools, but almost no one here is taking because of the taxes. I've heard, and people have told me that almost half of Cardano is owned by Japanese people, and maybe a little bit of Korean, due to the ICO being here. And people are always surprised at how, quote, little stake pool activity they see in Japan. Let's go over there. I think I have it open. But there's actually a lot of stake pools in Japan. And there's a decent amount of ADA staked here if we look at this quickly. I changed up the visualization a bit to make it more simple. But if you look here, right, almost everything is like below 3%. I'm going to open the legend now. I changed the percent. This no longer lists the ADA amount, but the percentage of ADA in that place. And so if you see something that's dark pink or like highly saturated pink, it's got between 0 and 3% of the ADA in that region, or in the whole world in that cell. And so you can see the vast majority of tiles on here are just dark pink because they are below that. But Japan has what? Or Tokyo, not even Japan, Tokyo has what looks to be like between 3 and 6% of the network staked in it, and 93 relays here. 93 is quite a bit compared to most places, but of course it's nothing compared to Frankfurt. So I changed this visualization so that it's equal size bins, means we don't try to make the colors have the same number of cells, and to kind of emphasize, even though there's two ways of interpreting this plot now. One is that you can see there's a lot of places that don't have a lot of stake, and that's actually, when I was thinking about it, what we kind of want to see. We don't want to see so much clustering into a few places. And so the only real anomaly, or I would say point of improvement here, is this 13 to 16% of the network being staked in Frankfurt, and there being 524 relays. And we have another epoch like this. Look, I was just over, it said 27 new relays were, if you look at the center of the screen, 27 new relays in Frankfurt, and most places do not have 27 relays there. So anyways, there's that. This is kind of triggering a little bit of like, what is it called? Not agoraphobia. What is the fear of holes? The Cardano logo on skin does not look so good in my opinion. It looks a little bit like an STD or something. I would really reconsider getting Cardano logos on people. I like the Cardano logo, but I don't think it looks very good as a tattoo. OGs, shout out. I don't know. Has any of these posts been interesting at all? I think I like the Chinese one. I thought it was interesting. I hope to be rich someday. BlockFi going to add ADA as soon as they can. Bloomberg, Coinbase. This is a maybe interesting content. 16 plus pools have retired in the past week. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see whether or not we get some kind of consolidation in the pool space, because especially now that the K equals 1000 change has been pushed to like I think like September-ish time frame. I'm curious if the new pool's opening is going to slow down or not, because I don't see where, like, how people are going to be able to attract stake, given the realities of stake pool operation. Of course, you don't need much anymore. Probably if you get like a block a year, you can pay for your hosting costs and that kind of thing. So just from the min fee. But I wonder if it be interesting to track closures, how that's going on. Yeah. Right. It seems like every new pool has got like 1,000 ADA pledge, that kind of thing. And I think we'll just see some consolidation. Or I don't know. That's my question. The papers I've read kind of theorize that there will be a consolidation down to K, right? They expect pools to close. But so far, I haven't really seen evidence of pools actually closing. And so, like en masse kind of thing. 16 is probably the largest number I've seen. So, more Bloomberg terminal. screenshots, Coinbase Pro. See, this was the other one. Why Cardano's translation should not be Kadalu. Kadalu sounds much more Japanese than Chinese. Kadaru. Kadaru. In Taiwan, network is called Wanglu, but in mainland Mandarin Chinese is called Wangluo. They sound different. We want to avoid it. So he's suggesting Kadanwo. Kadanwo is more close to the English pronunciation. And nuo means promise in Chinese, and it is a very positive word. We have a saying, Yi nuo sen king. Akalai, how is that? Kintama. Kintama, kintama. Want to link Cardano with such an image. A product that delivers on its promise. Yep. It's interesting. The price went down. Yeah. Is anyone worried about the dollar? Do you think hold above $1? I can't. Yeah, like for me, I don't consider this a dip really. I think like if we had gone to $1, if we had just gotten to $1 in a straight, like in a linear slope line from whatever, like 22 cents that we were at for a while, I'd still be like shitting my pants excited. So the fact that we've lost what 33% from the all-time high was like not really a point of concern to me. This guy I noticed doing daily rumor rundowns. I wonder if there's check out one of them. Infographic. I like this post actually. So many rumors. I guess he just keeps adding to the bottom of the list and then crossing them off when they happen or get invalidated. This was cool. Seeing this ADA receipt from a Coinbase email. Wallpapers. Whales trying to hold down ADA. More rumors. Blockchain Africa. More rumors. I like this. Let's go through this Carolina Telling. Let's go through her stake pool guide. I think this was actually some decent. I like the work that she puts into this. So let's go through here. How to choose the right Cardano stake pool. How do I get to the next image? Oh no. If I do it this way, I can't advance the next one. Let's zoom in. Goal of Cardano decentralization. Cardano's goal is to have 1,000 plus diverse pools in 2021 when K equals 1,000 and to be sometimes more decentralized than Bitcoin. To reach that goal, all circulating ADA should be ideally evenly spread between all 1,000 plus pools. I tend to agree with that. At the moment, 75% of the stake is controlled by the top 25 pools, which means that we are not as decentralized as we think. You can help decentralization by delegating to smaller independent pools. This helps Cardano to become stronger, healthier, and more sustainable in the long term. I was just watching, Charles just made a video, I would recommend checking it out, on decentralization. And he kind of knocks Bitcoin for having 10 operators basically running the whole Bitcoin network. And of course, most of those are in China. But it's kind of interesting. How many operators do you need to have 51% of the Cardano network? So Binance is at 13. I'm just going to go till around halfway. Binance 1, 1% 2, IOG 3, Adolite 4, eToro 5, MS 6, Leo 7, Emergo 8, New Guy pending 9, Ocean 10, Cool 11, Bloom 12, ZZZ 13, CCJ 14, SPS 15, Japan 16. I think it's SPS 15, because I think they shifted the amount you needed to get to 50%. So SPS 15. So if we're not that far off with the current way that ADA is distributed in stake pools from 10. We have 15 people or 15 entities, because Binance is not a person, right? Controlling roughly 51% of the stake on the network. And I think the biggest thing to watch will be Binance's stake going down as the Coinbase and other pools kind of go up. But if Coinbase just takes all of Binance's stuff, that won't really change. But maybe as people start to get used to moving stuff around, moves off more and more to smaller operators, and we can get a lot more than 15 people in to require a lot more than 15 people to control 51% of the network, right? Somebody please check whether I counted right, because 15 is a lot less than I thought it would be. I thought it would be more like 30 or something that we needed to get 51% of the network in Cardano. That's a little bit sad, actually. Be wary of highly leveraged operators. The higher the leverage of the system, the worse its security. More Sybil attacks are possible. We should not give too much control of our beloved ADA to the actors with high leverage, especially if stake pools are used in the future as a voting delegation tool. I had a really interesting disagreement with someone. I think it was on Reddit, and it came down to us both using the terminology differently, and I actually like his terminology, so I'm going to start to use it. He refers to big pools as pools with high pledge, and small pools are pools with low pledge. And I thought that was really interesting, because we were having an argument about big pools and small pools, and then it came down to wait. I was like, what you're saying, I don't understand. What you're saying logically isn't making sense, because when I hear big pool and small pool, I tend to think about the amount of stake they have in their pools, not the amount of pledge. And I think it's a little bit like he, her, she, his pronoun type thing, but like I think that there's power in language, and I think that it does make sense to, or I like the idea, right, of referring to pools as big or small depending on the size of their pledge, because that's something that they kind of have control over, right? Even if they don't have a lot of money, if they can convince other people to provide them funds or raise funds, right, to run a stake pool, then that's something that's within their control. But you can't really control how much ADA people are staking with you. And it kind of, I think, addresses some of those issues that we have with the pool splitting type stuff. How do we know that leverage is too high? So, right, they give some examples of a few, 1% and ADA Lite, Leo, and even, compared to some of the big multi-pool guys, it's not, even the multi-pool guys are pretty low leverage compared to some of these other operators. Be wary of pool splitters. This is probably like, the thing that takes up most of my time on Twitter. Do not give power to huge multi-pools like Binance, 1%, ADA Lite, eToro, MS Leo, and so on. Know the pool. Talk to the pool operator. Motivated pool operators. Pool's performance. We had a pretty awesome epoch recently. We had 5 blocks in one go for performance, and we should be getting something like 1.5 blocks per epoch, so it was a pretty bang out performance for us. And I had 5 blocks, and now I think our luck is back over 100% in lifetime luck. I think, Padya, you regularly get 5 blocks, right? But that's what you kind of need to maintain your luck. It's okay, Paji. I got 0 next epic. I miss out on my minimum fee. I'm so sad. So 5 from 12225 we'll see. I think right now I have a 20% chance of getting 0 blocks per epic. So hopefully we get another 5 blocks or so, or another 5 epics with blocks. That'll be good. What else is there going on? Customized Surface laptop. See, here the Cardano logo looks great on a metal surface that is not associated with like disease hosting surfaces. But I just don't think the Cardano logo looks good on skin. West African developers target Cardano to support expansion within region. I think this is related to a stake pool or a catalyst proposal where there's this West African Developer Alliance kind of thing. I've seen some videos on YouTube of a little like hall or like meeting center that's hosting this thing. It's pretty cool. I didn't get this visualization. Maybe someone in chat. What was the most important slide of the Husky thing? What did I skip? How to choose the right stake pool. 10. Don't delegate to oversaturated pools. Notes about your staking rewards. Thank you. I skipped the thank you sign. Staking rewards. Don't delegate to oversaturated pools. I was thinking of a new staking guide, which I think I might make. Tell me what you guys think about this. I think my new way of recommending a pool is going to go say, if you don't care about location, if you don't care about anything else, just go to pool.io, sort by declared pledge, set this to a larger number than 100, and find the pool with the largest pledge. I think this is how like Cardano is supposed to be used. Find the pool with the largest pledge that's below saturation and plop your ADA in it. And then just, as that thing approaches saturation, the next one will come up, the next one will come up, the next one will come up. And if we just keep going down this list, I think that will kind of allow for some kind of consolidation or we can just see like how many people are staking ADA and how this goes, because right now we have this super long tail distribution where like it just goes on and on forever and ever. And I guess it's like the inverse thing would be to raise K, I guess, and to change the incentivization of pledge, because if we have all these people who have set up pools, it might make sense, and the price supports it. Maybe we should take advantage of it, and we shouldn't hope that a lot of these pool operators close down, because this is actually kind of an amazing thing if we have 2,300 pool operators, and it would be pretty sad, because you imagine there's probably a finite set of people who are willing and able to set up a pool on Cardano, and if they kind of shut down and go out of business, it's going to be hard for us to convince them to start up a pool again in the future when we want and need it. So, yeah, that's that. Seeing a lot of repeats about stuff. A lot of rumors. CB Pro. I think I might be switching this Reddit review, as much as I need content for my YouTube channel, to a monthly review, because I don't know, I just don't see a lot of stuff here that seems worth discussing. I think when we first started doing this, we had a lot of fun talks about the various things going on, but now it seems like there's not, even though there's a lot of stuff happening on the Reddit, I don't see a whole lot of interesting stuff worth discussing. Right, so I do think maybe that the next one will be a monthly review, we'll probably just go by calendar months. So maybe we will do another one at the end of March and the end of April, kind of thing. So thank you for watching. I think it was Padjay and my real life friend who were in chat, and I think there was another Indian guy who joined for a little bit where we talked about Hidden Moon, Yuvaraj Morla. So it's been an hour and 23 seconds. I think we'll wrap things up. If anyone has any questions, happy to discuss them. If you haven't already, please go check out my 2 Catalyst proposals. Actually, I'm more interested in these right now than in actually staking with Monad, which is also something that is cool and helps. But if you can drop a kudos on these if you like them. The first proposal is basically to turn the Monad pool decentralization tracker into a recommendation system for recommending people pools based on their values. So basic UI. I think I'm actually going to implement this as like a fake chat bot rather than all these sliders, but basically ask people, do they care about a pool's location? What do they think about big tech companies? And then map these onto a scoring system for whether or not, like if they don't trust big tech companies, we won't recommend pools that are only on AWS or Google or Microsoft cloud servers, right? So all these English questions get turned into a score, and then what we will do is we'll recommend the top scoring pools for that person's values and say, because you chose this pool was recommended, or this pool is being recommended based on some set of answers that because you said this to this answer, so that people can kind of understand it. So I think that's kind of a useful tool, because I think the most commonly asked question I see by newbies is what pool should I stake with? And I think if we want to drive decentralization, we need to have good ways of people finding pools that match what they want to do. So that's my first idea. And the second idea is this insurance idea, which I have a separate video on, which I encourage watching. And there's been a lot of cool progress there. I'm actually in talks with Tweeg, which is the very initial early talks. I've had 2 or 3 meetings with them now about this. But Tweeg is, from what I understand, I kept coming across them because I use NixOS, and they always are making interesting blogs on how to use Nix, and I had found them that way. But Nix is actually, I didn't know until I came back or found Cardano, but pretty heavily used in the Cardano ecosystem. And my understanding is Tweeg is actually the company that IOHK has kind of outsourced the Plutus development of the Plutus smart contract language to. So they're quite expensive, but I kind of see it as, if we actually want to build this platform and do it in like a secure way, given that we're offering financial services on it, I think that like really rigorously, formally verified kind of smart contracts are probably the proper way of doing that. And so even if it costs an arm and a leg, I think it's probably worth doing. So I don't even think what I've asked for on the proposal is actually enough to cover the price of the engagement, but I'm hoping to be able to raise other funds, other places, to make up for that. And if we don't get this, I can revise this proposal. But that's that. Thank you everyone for watching, and like I said, I think later this week we'll have an interesting conversation with 2 other people about NFTs on Cardano and what we might think about there. It'll be, I think, more like art centric kind of conversation, which is maybe not so commonly represented in the cryptocurrency space. But yeah, should be fun. So, um, trying to get back into the swings on YouTube. Trying to get back into the swing of things on YouTube. And have a good night. It's 2 a.m. for me now. Peace.